Hey y'all, welcome to another What Else Is Going On, aka We Go podcast episode. Y'all already know who I am. I'm your girl, your host, Taria. Listen, y'all told me, I delivered. I got my boo that I met, I think at the end of 2024 or beginning of 2025. I think it's the end of 2024. I found her content. She's, of course, obviously, if y'all can see her, you can see she's beautiful, she's funny, she's bright, she's smart, she's insightful. She watches these shows in a way that I love. She doesn't mind getting deep. When people say, oh, y'all take it so serious, it's so deep. It's a study in human behavior, people. And I love how she studies the human behavior. Y'all, and I myself am a bonnet. Please welcome my boo, Bonnie Scott. Hey, Bonnie.
And thank you so much. I need that introduction everywhere I go. I'm beaming right now. I'm like, what? Thank you. Oh my God. Like, I'm on We Go podcast. It's all good. I just thank you so much for having me and
Listen.
just with me and just for being you and being so dope. Because I know the people have been harassing you a little bit. They were like, we want to see you back on We Go. I was like, people have lives and things that they have going on.
No,
So
I get caught up sometimes in my own stuff. So in my mind, I have everybody that I've had on here. I always want y'all to come back.
yeah,
That's the whole reason you've been on here in the first place. Because
yes.
even if you don't know me, if I see your content, I'm like, oh, you can tell if you're gonna vibe with somebody or not. So I'm glad when the people said Bonnie, I said she coming. And what's crazy is
That.
we will text, we'll check in on each other.
Mhm.
Somebody told me they wanted you back. I said, she's been on, she coming back. And
Yeah.
then, you know how you get busy and a few days later you text and I said, oh, boom, she's supposed to be back.
It's divine alignment. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like I love when that happens.
Okay,
Yes.
so speaking of divine alignment,
Mhm.
for those of you that have listened to me for a while, you already know this. Some of you are new. I used to have a podcast called Tales from a Butterfly. And basically it's called Tales from a Butterfly, but it tells the tale of what was it like when you were a caterpillar or in a cocoon. And so many people don't want to talk about that. So many people just, I'm a butterfly, I'm a butterfly. But how you get there, sis, how you get out of your cocoon. So what I'm trying to do is merge the two. So I want to ask you, have you been in a cocooning stage lately? What have you been trying to, what is it, metamorphosize into, if you don't mind sharing? Like how has Bonnie been lately?
You have a gift. Let me just say that. You have a gift. You have a gift of knowing because, and I'm just gonna say that because lately I have been so uncomfortable and so aware of myself in a way that I'm not used to being aware. And I just feel like, okay, I'm not a butterfly right now. And it's not time for me to be a butterfly. And there is there's a show on Paramount Plus. It comes on CBS and it's called Beyond the Gates. It's a black soap opera.
Yes.
And there was this character who was talking about her sister and how she feels deeply uncomfortable in that space of being in that cocoon. Like you're not the butterfly yet. You're the caterpillar right now. And you need to be in that dark, goo-filled pod that has nothing in it. It's just formless and it's dark in there. And you don't know what kind of butterfly you're gonna be just yet. And I was like, I don't feel like the butterfly right now. And I just
Wow.
have to be okay with that. And the fact that you said that is actually blowing my mind. And that's why I'm like, this woman has a gift.
You about to make me blush and cry all at the same time.
No, like for real, I have been struggling with that for the past couple of weeks. And like sometimes you might like meet a person or bump into a person that like might be a mirror for you. And like things kind of get like shown to you in a way that maybe you weren't ready for in a good way. But also sometimes like the mirror can show things that you just,
It's tough.
it's tough. It's beautiful, but it's like, oh wait, I'm overwhelmed. You know what I mean? So I just need to go back in my little cocoon right now. I'm gonna go back into the little goo-filled pod over here and just be quiet. You know? So yeah, I'm working on some stuff in the background for
I
sure.
love that.
And I just feel like I'm wanting to become the woman that I always knew that I could be. But
Girl.
sometimes life kind of gets in the way. Sometimes you get in your own way. Sometimes somebody else's voice becomes your voice, and you think that critical voice is yours, and you're just trying to get away from all of the criticism.
Yes.
I'm just like, I need to like strip down and kind of like, you know, figure out that process and figure out what kind of butterfly I'm going to be a little bit later. I don't know just yet.
And we don't, and neither does the caterpillar. It's just when they come out. It's
Yeah.
so crazy because I've been wanting to merge those two worlds so much. And so that was not I promise you on everything. Whoever y'all believe in, y'all can go ask them and they'll tell you she's not lying. I wasn't even quite sure how I was going to open up.
Yeah.
So that just kind of,
The confirmation.
something will jump into my head and I'll say it.
Yes.
And then, so I am so glad. What to me was always I'll say was, from a little girl, I felt like I was a butterfly, but not in the way like, oh, I'm this just mythical thing. I always felt like my job was to go to place in my mind when I would think I'm a butterfly. And even now at 48 years old, I see a field of like tall grass, and some of it might be a little dark. Some of it may not have been watered yet. My job is to go there, land on a blade, and bring sunshine to everyone that's watching, even if it's just a smile. Even if I want people, when people look at me, I want them to feel like the sun is shining on them and everything is going to be okay. And then I go on about, but I don't stay. I go on about my way. That's how I've always felt, right? So you talking about becoming this butterfly, I think we should also count as a win the little metamorphosis, because you realizing that is you.
It's huge.
Because what you years ago, you wouldn't have realized that maybe. So now that's your butterfly era. Like, okay, I'm not fully that, but I am a butterfly in this way because I have realized I've come out of my cocoon of not knowing.
Right.
Now you've entered into another cocoon. And I always thought, what's interesting you think about what's going on inside there. And when I really looked it up and started studying it, I found out that basically the caterpillar kind of explodes into goo, and in order to survive outside of the cocoon, it has to basically eat its own enzymes. In other words, eat its own mess that it created in order to survive outside of that cocooning stage.
Listen, the process is very fascinating because and when you add that bit of context to it, it does feel like that. It does feel like I'm kind of like eating away. It just like, like you're getting rid of like all of the excess, all of the things that you don't need. Like right now, I'm just like in this kind of, it just feels strange.
Yes.
I know I'm in a space that I've never been in. I know I'm growing in ways that I've never grown before. I know I'm pushing myself in ways that I never have before. And I think sometimes we can be so harsh on ourselves in that process. And you're really not supposed to be. It's like, you're not going to walk up to like a cocoon and start yelling at it. You're going to leave it alone. You're going to leave it alone and let it do its thing. It's like, okay, girl, I'll see you in the spring.
And probably say, I'm wishing all the best for you, beautiful butterfly. And that's it. Yeah.
Yes, you're going to send like all of the best wishes and all of the love and all of those things. Like you would never interrupt.
Girl.
And I'm just like, am I interrupting my own process by like digging and trying to like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we get in our own way. And I'm just like, I'm trying to get out of my own way right now. So I can like, because I feel like we as people, like we go through so many births, like we are constantly birthing ourselves, like so many errors, so many like reinventions of ourselves. So I'm just like, I need to be like really chill in this process, like while this new woman is trying to emerge. And when I'm ready to clean her up and present her to the world, and she'll be amazing. But like right now, I just need to like let her be in her process and just like quietly let her go through her thing and not.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love how you said quietly let her go through her thing and not interrupt, because although there's different tools when we get say if you're having a moment or you're feeling blue, there's different tools we can use no matter what you believe in, whether it's religion or whether it's, grounding, both for
Yeah,
me, but whether it's,
same.
we'll jump to that therapy.
Me working out too.
Girl,
Getting into my body, getting into that gym 3 days a week.
come on.
When I tell you it has saved my life.
But what you just said was critical, leaving it alone, because sometimes we reach for the tools that are not needed. Have you ever, like, you may
Out
have
of survival.
you may have hung a picture or something, and then you feel like maybe I need to screw it in a little more. So you grab a tool and you end up breaking the nail or
Damaging
messing
it.
it, when you should
Right.
have just left it alone. It was fine. And you saying sometimes it's okay to just be. We don't always have, we're in a culture now where it's like we have to be actively hustling, actively in
Right.
therapy, actively in church, actively doing this, actively grounding, actively this. And it's like, no,
And then
maybe,
the guilt and the shame that you feel for comparing yourself to others.
girl,
They're in a different process than you.
come
Maybe
on,
you don't even need to be looking at their paper. You need to be looking at your own paper, babes.
come on.
Because sometimes I feel like we think we're in a race against, our peers, against other people, and we're looking at the numbers. We're looking at and it's like, girl,
Girl, you,
that one could
and
is
as
a
content creators, it make you sick.
yes,
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 yes.
yes. When you feel like you should be in this, and then sometimes I get those moments where I'm humbled, and it's like you are
Yes.
where you are supposed to be.
Come on.
You need to check that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's just like my way of keeping the ego in check because I am blessed.
Mhm.
I am extremely blessed, the position that I'm in right now. And in all actuality, I actually would not trade to be in anybody's position because I would never want to trade the love that I've accumulated in my life for anybody else. Like what I have and the relationships and the love that I have, like I would never give that up. So
Right.
it doesn't even make sense to compare.
And then too, you may be taking on what we see is glitz, glamour, and gold. And it very well could be.
Is right, but you don't know what it costs
Come on.
somebody to get that thing. You don't even want what it required for that person to have the thing that you think is so glittery and shiny.
Come on. Come on.
You don't know. So just be in your blessing. Be in
And the
your
blessing
space.
could be in the cocoon, and we don't see it that way.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Listen, look, I know you was gonna put your good deaconess pumps on.
Get out of here.
Said my girl gonna have her pumps on. Okay. And by the way, I just wanted to say too, I'm very proud of you. Speaking of pumps on, like you always have your boots to the ground. You're always in these streets, and just like the way you build relationships and collaborate with people, and your name is just good in the streets. Like when people say your
Oh my
name,
gosh.
just feel good. Like
I
you're
appreciate that.
like you're really that girl. You're that diva. So I'm just extremely proud of you.
Girl,
Like
you gonna
win it. We all win. When you're winning, it's like she's shining for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like it just lets us know what's actually possible. So I had to give you your flowers.
Oh, thank you. I'm learning to say thank you.
Yeah.
And be, like just
Good.
thank
Good
and
job.
enjoy the moment. So thank you. Oh my gosh. Look, I can't stop smiling. You see all 32. Well,
I know.
I've had a couple pulled, so about 33.
Yes, I love that.
Oh my gosh. This, I hope those of you who are listening, if you're feeling like you're in a cocooning stage, I hope that this brings you some comfort. And just know that you're not at it alone. And Bonnie, I want to thank you for being so transparent and vulnerable and sharing that, because I had no idea that's where that was going to go when I asked you that question.
No, you didn't. You said that, it kind of gagged me because I had been actually struggling this last week. I had been struggling really hard, especially with like all of the stuff going on in the world,
Girl,
world news and stuff in Minneapolis. And just like, I've been feeling so heavy. Like I literally had to clock out of work on Thursday because I couldn't see my computer screen through tears. Like I was so stressed out and everything was just hitting me all at once. And I was feeling like really hopeless. And I was like, this is the feeling that they want me to have.
Come on.
Get out of this, get back in my body, work out, walk my dog, try to throw some tuna and crackers down my throat.
Come on.
Not eating, you know what I'm saying? Have a little protein shake, like do the things that I know will like make me feel better. It's just a lot going on right now. So we definitely have to extend ourselves that grace. I'm trying, girl. Like I try to like show up as like this, like carefree, glamorous, but it's not always that. And I am very real with my audience about that. I'd be like, y'all, I'm tired this week. I'm exhausted.
Listen,
I'm not feeling it. Like I tell my people, okay.
I literally was thinking about a video that I was going to do. Girl, I'm feeling so shiny like an Easter shoot, but that's why I'm wiping.
Beautiful.
That little last layer of Vaseline, I was like, girl, you could have patted some more off.
And that's why your skin is perfect, because us Black folks, we grease up.
Let me tell you, that's the last step in my routine. I do a little bit. I keep a little water bottle, and after the moisturizer I put on, I go, and then seal it with Vaseline. Yeah. My daughter had eczema, and the doctor will say, I remember from a little girl, he told us, Vaseline is not a moisturizer; it's a sealant. It seals the moisture you've already put on. So I'm like, boom. So I just take a little tiny bit and but today I was rushing and doing it, but. Thank you. I love how you say that about your audience, because there's a video that I've been wanting to do. And just, I like to do my like ride share things, like, all right, who I've picked up the last 2 weeks, what's been going on. And I remember thinking I need to tell them I've been feeling blue, but I'm getting back to pink. Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay for us to feel that way, because sometimes when you are just always showing up, and not that you're trying to be fake, but people always say people want happy people on social media. I think people want real people as content creators.
Yes.
So
you want real people, but I also try to be intentional about bringing joy into the space that I'm in. I do try to come with a sense of humor. Mm-hmm. And, even though like people be like, oh, Bonnie, you doing too much. Oh, you too deep. I do try to give laughs and some joy and some levity, infuse that into what I do. Like if I'm not in a good mood and my friends call me out the house, I'm like, y'all, I'm not in a good mood. I'm not going to bring this into space. So I really try to be mindful of that. So I find that it's always helpful for me to be honest with my audience and let them know like kind of where I am, and just be like, y'all, I'm tired. Y'all, I'm having a bout of depression. I'm like, because we're real people, we're connected in that very real way. And I'm just grateful that my audience they're so understanding and sweet and patient and kind and generous. And they're like, girl, take a break.
Yeah.
Girl, go lay down. Girl, they never make me feel guilty about needing to take time for myself and do what I need to do, because some people on the internet, like with these parasocial relationships, will get a little bit too familiar. Feign intimacy with you, and it's like sometimes you got to put up that boundary. Like, baby, I don't know you, and you don't know me in real life, baby.
We don't text, we don't talk, we don't none of that.
Well, very few people have my number in real life, so sometimes it becomes this weird thing where people feel like, because I understand there's that line where it's like, this community is a part of the reason why I have grown so much, but also you do have to have a boundary around what is acceptable socially and what is not acceptable. And I feel like sometimes the way people come at content creators, I've experienced my share of foolishness, but I think it's helpful that I'm older. I'm a woman of a distinguished age, honey. So things roll off a little bit faster than maybe it would have when I was younger. And but for the most part, I think because I do have an audience that's like maybe mid-20s and up.
Yeah.
Chill. Everybody's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They do tussle sometimes in the comments.
Girl, they be wanting to. They be coming from the shoulders in the comments sometimes. You like, hold on, wait.
Now I just let folks tussle. I just be like, listen, we a family. Families fight sometimes.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to settle it. We're going to figure it out. But it's all love at the end of the day.
It is. Yeah.
We can keep it respectful. And that's what I love. So.
That's what I appreciate. I love the community. And I know you feel the same way that I've built. I feel like they will check on you. They'll let you like, hey, I'm watching you, T. Like, I love when people call me T. Like, there's people that have started out, hey, T. And what they don't know is that only the people in my life that have been have ever randomly called me that, and it's only been 3 people, and I'm 49. So when an audience does that, it gives me that warm feeling of back to those people that called me T, because my name is short, Taria. And I would always be like, I wish I had that nickname. And then all of a sudden, a
I
friend of
love
mine gave it to me. And then another friend of mine in another era of my life gave it to me. And then when I started seeing people say it on social media, I'm like, oh my
because you
gosh.
realize, right? And something that clicked for me maybe at some time last year, and I've been doing this a couple of years, but it clicked for me that I was like, oh shit, I am a part of people's routines. I'm a part of your ritual. When people get in the comments and they're like, oh, I'm making dinner, but I'm watching.
Yes.
I'm I'm just like, oh wow. Like I'm a part of your life.
Yeah, it's a beautiful.
You're a part of these people's lives, and there's that sense of familiarity that they have. And it's like that's tea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
That something about that just feels, it makes you feel full in a way that only you would
Come
understand, and
on.
only other content creators will
Yes.
understand what it feels like when you have been woven into the fabric of somebody's life and they're like, I'm cooking, but I'm watching, or I
Yes.
was driving, I was listening, and I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm really a part of people's lives in a real way.
Yes. So y'all listening, both of our communities, we want y'all to know, because we do know content creators. Sometimes we'll get on here and be like, y'all need to ease back. But we also want to let y'all know we love y'all too. And we appreciate y'all. And we do feel a part of your community and all that. Randomly, I'll be driving and be, oh, I wonder if so-and-so's okay. Like if they mention something, or I'll find myself saying a prayer, you know what I mean? Just like, because they do become a part of your day and your life. Speaking of things that have become a part of our day, our lives, our weeks, our recaps, our this, there's no smooth transition. So I'm just going, how are you feeling about the Real Housewives of where we live, kind of, sort of, not quite, but
Yeah.
Potomac?
Okay.
Decide. Oh, you know what? Before I ask you that, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want to ask you this, because I've asked my audience and I ask other people that have been on. I want you to describe Potomac in a food way. So for me, I say Potomac is cotton candy. It ain't serious. It ain't deep. Oh, let me eat some cotton candy. I don't really eat a lot of it. I'll enjoy it, put it away, but it's fluff. When I want a real meal, I'll watch The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Beverly Hills are nuts in a bar for me. I'm only eating them because they're there, but I wouldn't go to the store and choose them myself. So what is Potomac for you?
Potomac is definitely popcorn.
Oh,
Like a good salty popcorn. So like when you smell it, it's like, oh, I want that. Let me go get into it. And then you start eating it. It's like, this is too salty for me. I shouldn't have put all this butter on here. And now the kernels is getting stuck in my teeth, and now I'm annoyed.
I'm mad because that's better than my cotton candy. I'm mad.
Sometimes you really just want popcorn when you go to
Yes.
the and you gotta have it. And the smell is intoxicating.
Yes.
Potomac, the women are so beautiful. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful.
Girl.
I love to look at them.
Me too.
And then you really get into it, and it's like,
you about to make me spit. I was getting ready to take a drink. Because I'm feeling the feels of eating some good popcorn, then being like, after a while, like you said, wait a minute. Oh, that's
right.
so good, Bonnie.
Digging your teeth, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I can't give it up at the same time.
Girl, before you know it, the bowl is empty.
Right.
But a bunch of kernels that didn't pop, like Potomac with a bunch of stories that ain't pop because they trying to.
With popcorn, I try to find other ways to season it, to make it, you know what I'm saying? So I'll add a little bit of Mrs. Dash, a little garlic powder, we try to add a little something more to it to make it a little gourmet moment, you know what I'm saying? But it's popcorn. It's going to get stuck in your teeth. It's going to annoy the shit out of you. So, it is what it is.
That is so, I'm so mad because that is perfect. Popcorn. That is so good. Right? I told Bonnie, y'all, that I was going to tell her something about Potomac when we got to Potomac that I thought was funny. So I'm going to tell it before I forget. Y'all know I do rideshare, Bonnie. You know I'll be up and down these streets with the people in the car.
Yes.
I could start out in Baltimore County, right? And then I could start out in the town, around the town that I live in. Then I may end up in a Middle River. Those of you that are from my area, y'all know. Then I may end up in a Towson, right? And then from Towson, I may end up 20 some minutes down the road to Columbia.
Okay.
Then I may be in Columbia and end up in Laurel, 20 some minutes.
Arundel Mills.
Arundel Mills. And then I may end up picking somebody up. And now Westminster is an hour from my house, but by now I've gone to different places and it doesn't seem that long because I've gone here, gone there. Then I may end up getting a ride that has me driving 20 minutes to Westminster. And then I may end up in Westminster getting a ride that takes me with this place is in Westminster, but it's very specific. Finksburg. We know who lives in Finksburg, Dr. Wendy. And then you may be driving somebody and be like, girl, I'm in a town. And then you may look over and I'm sure, but I'm not sure. I would need to find out what kind of car he drives because I promise y'all, I swear I saw Eddie in a car yesterday. I'm driving a passenger. I'm like, but girl, I couldn't bust around and make you turn and see because I had a passenger in the car.
I wouldn't be shocked if you did because
isn't that crazy? My job is taking me over there.
he does a lot of pop-ups for his Happy Eddie business. So he'll do one in Columbia.
Yes.
In DC. He's all over the place.
So I was like, oh, I got to see. I wonder if anybody knows what kind of car he drives because I promise you.
I'm sure you can see him. Yeah.
Look, there is not a lot of Nigerians in Finksburg.
Hello.
There's not a lot of black folk.
Yeah. No, that
Finksburg.
population over there, it is not black. It's not a black population. So
when I seen the sign, welcome to Finksburg, I said, hello. And then I'm driving and I just happened to look. I was like,
yeah,
I think I might see y'all next Wednesday at y'all trial. But anyway, your thing. But anyway, so yes, so popcorn. What's getting stuck in your teeth the most this season?
What is getting stuck in my teeth the most this season? Okay, a couple of things. I feel like the Stacey of it all and the Angel of it all, because I do feel like the season has revolved around them. And I feel like the women hanging their hat on something that one of these women has done, it's become their calling card. And like, y'all, I want y'all to find something else, because how is it that Giselle gets to question everybody about their situation, about their man, about whatever they got going on? We know you got a man. We know you run in the streets with a man. We don't know what is going on in your actual real life. She apparently has a sister. We don't know anything.
And a brother.
And a brother, right? Angel definitely is having a rough first season. I went back and forth with her. I would like to see her back. I would like to see her come back because she does add some interesting kind of friction.
Yes.
Dynamic. That I do appreciate. It gives us something to talk about, much in the same way I felt like with RHOA, Angela and Kelly, the newbie, Shamia, they gave us interesting friction and it switched up the dynamic in a good way. Okay. However, I do also think that we need to bring the old hoes back.
Come on.
Sharice, Karen, we need the old girls in the same house, because there's a lot that we're missing within that dynamic. This situation with Sharice has really taken a turn. So I'm just like, Sharice needed to be here. She did.
And you saying that almost makes me wonder, because we see what Sharice has said in interviews with Carlos King on her press tour, and then Giselle's response. Yeah. Are y'all hoes setting us up?
Well, okay. I'm curious
for next season.
I'm curious about how you feel about that, because when I saw the Sharice interview, I was like, I don't know if this is a good thing. She's rolling Giselle up under the bus, and Giselle is her entryway to the show. So that's not good. Like,
I went back and forth. I said, there were some things. I'm on your side. Sharice, I can see what you're saying. And then some things, I got more questions for you now, Sharice.
Yeah, because you rolling Ashley under the bus and you're saying she was alive this whole time, but you also refer to her as one of your daughters. So you were okay with
Crazy.
the lies for this entire time. And now all of a sudden that, it seemed like you were okay with her being with your son. And when you experienced the backlash from the audience, then it became a situation of, oh, I didn't believe her. Sharice,
Yes.
I was born on a Thursday, not last Thursday.
Come on. Did
So
you
stop.
see? Did you see what Mia commented on social media?
No, what did she
She
say?
said Ashley told it was the video of Ashley going around. Have you seen the video of Ashley saying that Giselle knew this whole time?
Yeah, I did see
Okay.
that.
Mia commented and said, Ashley told us years ago, nobody cared.
Years ago. He's 27 now.
So yeah. So I guess maybe meaning like maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
Either way, that confirms what we all know to be true. Ashley, you have nothing else to talk about.
Right.
So Giselle had Sharice come on so you could tell her, so you could have something to talk about.
Yes. Yes. And the thing is, too, Stacey said this on Carlos King's interview, but you're really that hard up?
Come on.
The pickings are that slim.
Yeah.
Ashley, in reality, when you really, I mean, who else would behave in that way? If you had options, or even if you didn't have options, I think a lot of women do have a little bit more in the realm of self-respect,
Come on.
dignity, and pride. And it's just like,
Yeah.
and even the way she rolled that information out, I didn't even like it, right? Because when you say to me that, oh, I was drunk, right?
Come on.
Help me get into my house, then it gives me this air of it puts a veil of a cloud around consent, maybe. And I understand everybody's grown in the situation, but I just feel like when you throw in that element of drunk, I don't like that.
Yeah, I was drunk and he helped me in the house and then he pulled me to him.
Because I don't even believe that. Because I've been saying this on my show. I do believe that the way that Ashley goes about letting people know that she's attracted to them. Look at how she treats Kiana. Look at what she did to Jazzy.
Yes.
She got a chocolate pen. Who walks around with a chocolate pen? An aggressive bull dagger. That's who. So you have a chocolate pen on the go, ready for the girls. You want to lick the girls from their titties up to their neck. And it's just like, she needs to be stopped because she's criminally horny. So I don't even believe this story that she told about, oh, he grabbed my hand. No, you went after that young man.
She took him in like the flower from
a Venus flytrap.
Yes.
From Feed Me Seymour.
Yes. Yes.
Horrors. That's her coochie. A hungry coochie. A mess. She's a mess. I don't believe that story for a second. And she's a filthy liar. And we've seen her lie and just like take.
Do you think that she has, because I was listening to Candace's podcast with her co-host Michael Arsenault, and he gave his take on Ashley, and I have been feeling it, but I just never said it because I know Ashley's black, y'all. You don't have to tell me she black. She's a quarter of.
She's biracial.
She's biracial. But this new way of talking.
Yeah.
Sis, come on. I have not heard
since she's gotten away from Michael. Now she's playing up this black speak.
Yes.
And I need her to stop. And because it very much gives her interpretation of what she thinks black people are doing. If you are just, okay, I'll give you an example. My audience knows this about me, but Mariah Carey is one of my favorite biracials. Okay. I'm a lambly down.
Is that what they do? Wait, or bad?
Screaming. That was really good though. But yes, I'm a lamb down. And the thing about Mariah Carey that I really, really like is that she has never performed her blackness, right? She shows up in a very specific way. She shows up like that fair-skinned auntie with the blonde blowout, right? So sometimes, and I'll go back through Mariah's discography and I listen to the things she says, and I'm like, she was always letting us know who she aligned with and just the things she said. There's this song that she has, this record.
If you say what I think you're going to say.
I don't, it's such an obscure record.
Go ahead.
But in this one record, she was like, she was comparing her crush, like the way she loved this man. And she was like, love you like something, something. She said, love you like a holiday Duncan Hines yellow cake. She loved this man like a holiday
Duncan Hines yellow cake.
That is a very specific nigga reference.
Yeah.
You have to be black to. And
we're not doing right because
play on my girl's name.
Betty came later, right?
So it's stuff like that, and she's never had to say, "Oh, I'm this" or "I'm that." It's always
she just is
embedded in who she is, how she shows up. So when you see somebody like Ashley performing,
yes,
it's like a cosplay. It's like, sister, I'm good.
Because that's what it is. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
You've been yourself all this time, but also it's like, and I know people are some people, listen, I know y'all may not like the comparison because I've said it before, but I'm like, the absence of Candace and the way she dressed and the way she spoke and the way and now everybody's a hoe. Y'all wasn't calling people hoes and stuff. Y'all were not. Let's go back through the seasons of Potomac. Y'all weren't calling people hoes and this and that. And now all of a sudden.
Candace is missed.
Very missed.
She had a mouth on her. And that's the one thing that I will always be able to give to Candace. She was always able to run them girls up off her back.
Thank you for saying that. Run them up. People always say her mouth, her mouth. She was using her mouth to back people up off her. And I always say,
even Giselle said that on Ultimate Trip.
Yes.
We heard Giselle herself admit it.
And on the reunion.
And that's why I don't know if you've been watching Traders, but Candace has been doing really well.
I'm going to I had a conversation with you and I told you I'm going to.
I would love to know your thoughts because I'm enjoying watching Candace in this space, particularly because I'm seeing a different side of her personality. She is not having to be on the defense. Right now, she can just have fun and just like play the game of strategy and, whatever it is, because she's a trader. But she is just able to be herself and be calm. And like I can just tell like her nervous system is she's not in defense mode. And
yes.
God, this is such a wonderful like way for her to be reintroduced to an audience. I'm really enjoying it so much. So I'm really happy for Candace.
I'm loving the fits. I want to go get a beret.
Oh, baby, those fits.
From the pictures that I see, I want to get a beret. Yeah. And then Portia made me want a pixie. I said, oh, girl.
Portia went home first.
Yes, I saw that. I think my husband will like it too. I'm not a game person, so I will tune out during the game. I tried watching it and it wasn't the celebrity edition. And I tried watching like a couple episodes and I was like, but y'all, the way y'all are talking about it make me want to watch.
I think if you watch it with someone too, sometimes it is a little bit more enjoyable because sometimes like your husband might catch something you didn't see. Like when I watch stuff with my mom, she catches stuff that I didn't see and she always has such like a fun, interesting perspective. So I enjoy, like sometimes it's better to watch.
Okay.
So it'll help.
You should discuss an episode and have her on.
I was thinking about that. Because she's a hoot and a holler.
You're funny, so I can imagine. I love to hear you talk. I love people from Maryland. They'll get in my car and I'll talk, and they'll say, "You're not from here, are you?" And I'll say, "No, I'm from Jersey." And they'll say, "Oh, near New York." You have not heard a New Yorker speak, ma'am, or somebody from North Jersey. I'm from South. I'm like near Turnpike Exit 1. They all the way up the top. So I love hearing you talk and that accent come through. So I know your mom would be like, well, I heard it a little bit today, y'all. Before we came on, I was telling her, tell her mama I'm coming over so she can do my hair.
My mom is she's actually from Barbados, but she grew up in New York, so she has like. Both. She
sounds like a flute when she talks, don't she? All pretty and
sweet. Right. Yeah. Like I think Caribbean people do have that. It sounds like a song a little bit.
Yes. Like a melody. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I love how you talked about Ashley, that is so true. I just always looked at it like, I don't like you. And I
Yeah.
hate to, let me walk that back from what I see, because I know I don't know her and I know she could be lovely in person. I just never took to her. And
Yeah.
I wanted to, because so many people loved her in the beginning. So, you know, it's like you don't always want to be the odd
Yeah.
person watching these shows. But there was just something about her that just, I even told my audience, if you ever hear me side with her, check me. So
Yeah.
the other day I agreed with her. So I had to say, she made a point. Because
Right.
I want to be fair. I want to be fair, you know. And
You
I'll say
just
this. This is also weird. Her and Whitney, I truly cannot stand. However, if I were to ever cross the other side of the line, I don't know. I feel like my aggression with Ashley, maybe that's what would make it good, because I just cannot. But I find her, oh God, I'm about to throw up in my mouth. In a weird way, like when she was dancing on Jazzy, and then seasons ago when she was kind of dancing on Robin, I was like, but then I had to let the thought leave. I know, but we all have our problematic
yeah.
thoughts about these people. Y'all don't come for me.
Yes.
So there's a part of me that thinks she's a little bit sexy, even though I don't think she can dress. And I feel like she dressed like, you know, the Deb Shop, Rave, Merry-Go-Round, Joyce Leslie, the throwaways that you would send to Marshalls. And I love Marshalls, but y'all know, like, people don't be thinking those clothes, if you see American Eagle or Express, are real. They're real, because I used to work at Express and we had to cross out put a black line in the tag and then send it over to Marshalls. But there was just a small part of me that was kind of like,
Rodney said the same thing. A lot of people feel the same way. Like I personally don't feel that way, but I get how somebody else would. I get it. She's the way she presents herself. She can pull a look sometimes, you know, she's very like in touch with her sexuality,
that's
but
what it is.
about her personality wears me out.
Yes. You know what? You hit it. I love when women are confident in their sexuality
Yeah.
and they're not afraid that other women are going to say whatever.
Yeah.
That's that
That you can
small.
rock with. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I think she's still kind of like could be a predator, kind of, sort of. But yeah.
It gives that sometimes. I'd be like,
Yes.
I need you to just
She's aggressive.
yeah, yeah. She does a lot sometimes on the girls. And I'm like, you know, you're already a beautiful woman, so you don't have to do the most. You know, and I want sometimes the girls to learn that. Like, you don't have to be pressed in every situation. Let it unfold naturally. Just be in your body, be in the moment.
Be in your body.
Press the situation, like let the tension build. Sometimes tension is sexy.
Yeah.
You know? So
That's true.
yeah.
That's good. Me and Ashley would probably end up fighting.
You're Aries, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I love my Aries sisters. I love my fire sign sisters.
I know we can be a lot.
Look, a lot comes with us. I mean, we're the fire signs after all. So what do you want?
I just had this thought this morning. People talk about soft girl life. Hear me out. I like to work. Now, what I want to do is I want to be able to fully do what I love doing, and that be the full income, right?
Right. Same.
I work a lot, and my husband says, you don't have to work. I like to feel like I'm contributing. It dawned on me literally this morning while I was driving, because I have a lot of time on my hands because I'm sitting in a car and I'm listening to content. But sometimes I try to gauge what I play based on who's in the car. So sometimes I'll play things that I've already listened to, but I know that it provides a captive audience. So they'll be quiet and won't talk to me. So they'll listen. So I said to myself, I have finally figured out what it is. And I don't know if any other fire signs or any other women or men or anybody listening feels this way. When I think of now, I've realized the soft girl era that I want to live in, it doesn't have to mean me being home, you providing, you taking care of everything. I want to live I want to be, and I always tell Corey, like, you like take care of my emotions. That's where I want to be soft. I want to live in a soft girl era emotionally, intimately. Like, I want to be coddled in that way. and not the physical. Like I'm going to work. Where are you going? Tari, you've been working 7 days straight. I'm good. I'm going to work. But when it comes to me coming off and being home, being inside, I want my vulnerabilities to be handed to somebody who knows that I'm a soft girl inside. I literally thought about that today. I was like, oh, that's what it is.
I love that. I love that, you do have that soft space for you to land. Like, I feel like every woman should have that, but it can be rough out in these streets for
It
us.
can be rough. And I dominate everywhere else. Throw me around. No, I mean, not deep. Let's be clear.
Okay.
I don't want to take the lead. Okay. Because I feel like in every day you're doing this, right?
What's up in every other situation?
Yeah.
Well, when it's like somebody who can just like, you can be easy with, and like, they're like, let me take care of your feelings in this way.
Take care of all of them that way. Like, I want to give you everything. Take it all. Not me telling my business. Let me move on. Look, I'm over here like this. Woo, child said Ashley was sexy and telling y'all my business.
That's a blessing.
trying to get having Bonnie spill hers. Chill. Child,
if you get up here and get the spilling, child.
Listen,
mother shit for real.
We'll have to do that off pod. We'll have to meet up and do that off pod somewhere.
Yes, we will. But we're going to do that for real in 2026.
Yes, in 2026. Yes. I feel like we need to do a meet and greet. We spoke briefly about that. I was supposed to do some things on my end, but y'all, we're going to do it in 2026. We're going to have a scotch, a Bonnie a bonnet. We're going to figure out the name. We're going to have a something in 2026 for the people in our area.
We really should. Because the people have been asking me, they were like, when are you going to do a live event? When are we going to meet? Like, the fact that people were asking me was like, wow, okay, there's a demand.
Yes.
So we need to make it happen. Yes. I feel like us coming together would be better than.
It would be fun. Just meeting and getting to hug on people, love on people, talk, laugh.
Like our audiences, like they
kind of, yes.
Yeah, I think it would be perfect. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to put it out there, honey.
So what we're putting out now is, I know I have one. I'm going to get in my DMs about it because maybe we can do multiple. Anybody who has a space that y'all want to donate to me and Bonnie to have a meetup.
We need a space.
Let us know.
Absolutely. We putting our feelers out there.
So. Monique Samuels, her return. What do you think?
I think that Monique does a really very good job of trying to sell us on her new brand identity. Okay. She wants to present as if, oh, I'm this, I'm healed. I'm on my healing journey, all of these things, right? But I do not feel like a person who is healed would come into a situation and say the things that she said about Candace. I don't think that a person who is healed will come into a situation where you don't know a woman and you throwing out all this shit about her marriage.
Come on.
How healed are you?
Come on.
You don't even know that lady, but you're projecting a bunch of stuff onto her marriage. And I just feel like, okay, so you're not truly sorry. You don't have any remorse about the Candace situation, because I don't understand her whole stance on that. Candace should have been the first person that you reached out to make good on your return, because the way you left was so shitty. The way you left tearing up the people's property, running through there like a Tasmanian devil with them heavy ass boots on like Laura Croft, running through the property trying to get to her, looking crazy. And
to this day, I don't believe she was going. She knew she wasn't going to get to her. Go ahead.
She knew she wasn't. She was putting on a show. She wanted to be extra. She wanted to intimidate her. Robin got right in your face.
Come on. And said, do it.
Do it. And you're like, I'll choke you with that umbrella, but you didn't do it. So I can't respect somebody who I feel like you chose to fight with somebody that you knew wouldn't fight with you, number one. And then you have no remorse about it. You're haughty. You have your ass on your shoulders. She just has an attitude about her that I don't understand Monique's attitude at all. I don't.
And Rodney said it. I was listening to Rodney, and what he said, the way he broke it down, he said, if you're on a healing journey because of a fight, you got into a fight and you realized, oh, I've let all this stuff build up. So what made you go on a healing journey was this act.
Yep.
But you don't have a conversation with the
With
person
the person.
that was in the act with you.
Right.
You have a conversation and say, Giselle was the final part of your journey.
Right.
And I think I was listening to House of Aaron. Shout out to House of Aaron. He's been on the pod. He said something, and the way he broke it down was so simple. Her words don't match her actions.
Correct.
And I thought about an interview that she did, that she's been doing interviews, and she said that she can't respect people switching up on camera, people doing things on camera. And a lot of people didn't acknowledge, but if you go back to the beginning of season 5, when they had that dinner and kind of ambushed Candace and the mics were still on, but the screens were black, Monique walks up to Candace and Candace was like, girl, you knew about this? Why didn't you tell me? She was like, I couldn't, but I'm going to call you. She's admitting that it was a setup. So you're now doing interviews talking about how you don't like people that switch up on camera when we have literal footage of you doing that season 5. And I'm not saying none of the ladies do it, because they all, to a degree, right, we know this is your job. But like you said, it's the haughtiness and it's this, so I would rather Monique just be her.
Right. The bad actress thing, you trying to play up this image that, you wouldn't put some lock extensions in your hair and now you got a few crystals laying around the house. You got a couple more birds. And now it's like, you're just this spiritually healed shaman, forest fairy witch. Like, girl, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Stop it. A healed person is not going to, that you attack that lady. There would have to be some deep, deep level of sorrow and remorse. And maybe even acknowledging she may not want to mess with me, but I'm going to extend my energy to the far end of her energy, mm-hmm, and let her know that it's love and that I'm sorry and that I would like to have a conversation and that that to me, yes, would suggest somebody who is thinking about the way in which their actions harm people, harmed everyone around, threw their life off. It disturbed her own life.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
She doesn't have any of that. She has no self-awareness whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And that's my issue with Monique, right? So now you want to get up on this high horse and you want to tell a woman that you don't know about her own marriage.
Girl.
Check this situation. The way I see Bobby moving about Angel, he got a pot going on the stove. He cooking for his family.
Come on.
Got something on the grill. He's cleaning up the house. He's moving about Angel every time that I see him. Okay. I have never seen Chris in that light, in that context, ever on my TV. Hello. Ever. So you got things very twisted up here. Yeah. Just feel like just because y'all were wags that y'all have so much in common. Monique, what's going on up here, babes?
Yeah.
What's going on up here?
And I can see her saying, the only point that I could see is meaning, it seems like Ashley, when Angel said, I'm on top of my stuff, and then she won't really go into the rental contract. Basically, she made a mistake and looked at the wrong, I feel like, but she doesn't want to admit that. I think Monique wanted to be perfect Patty, and it was for Chris. Angel wants to be perfect Patty because that's how Angel is. I think Bobby ain't I don't think Bobby's putting that pressure on her. I always go back to, after the fight, Monique did Watch What Happens Live, and she was like, yeah, I didn't have anybody bring me tea after the fight. Remember, the other Chris brought Candace some tea the next morning. And Monique's own husband, when he found out she had been in a fight, his words to her when they were in that kitchen were, man, I really like Candace and Chris. Oh, man, I hope it wasn't, how are you? How are you feeling? Even if he felt like she was wrong, you expect your husband to some degree be like, I get that you were overwhelmed. Are you going to talk to? But it was more like, man, I really like Candace and Chris. Yep. This is what your husband is saying. So then for you to put all that on Angel, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No.
No.
Go ahead.
But him coming to her defense is actually very telling of their dynamic too, because it's what she was saying, it's what she was alluding to. She's saying that she needs more support. I'm reading between the lines, but she's saying that she needs emotional support. He's like, well, I've been giving you money.
Yeah.
Isn't that good? And it's like, bruh, he's not reading between. He can't hear that she needs emotional support in a different type of way. And so it's exactly what you just said. He couldn't even see, maybe, she just got in a fight. She needs to be consoled. Hello?
Yeah.
His first thing was, damn, I really like Chris and Candace. Wow.
Yeah. And then like with the Angel thing, it was, to me, I feel like a healed person, even if you thought all of those things, even if you had the conversation on camera for sake of the show,
you pull him to the side.
Come on. And not say it to the ladies.
Because she presented it to everybody else and gossiped in the car. She told everybody else her theory. So she knows what this does.
Yes.
She's part of this machine.
Yes.
Right? That now this is a thing that they can take it and use it and weaponize against this woman. Right. Monique is not low. She's not slick. I see through all of the smoke and mirrors. Monique is a Libra. My mother is a Libra. I understand Libra foolishness so well. Okay. So I know I know their thing of how they try to keep up appearances, and they'll sprinkle some gold glitter on a piece of shit and, present it like a golden nugget, and it'll be pretty. It'll be pretty, but it's a turd.
And it still stinks. Yeah.
So I already know what Monique is on. And I'm like, girl, please.
And I really I said I was coming back with an open slate. So what I've been trying to do is when she makes a point, I've been trying to be like, you know what? I can see that. But it's just like, you can't come in acting like, girl, like, I just don't like the projection of it all, because if it was me and my marriage, I would have an issue with that. Like when she said, oh, that's just a dad doing dad things, when Angel was like, let me check with Bobby. Girl,
I'm not even married. And I know that what Angel was doing was the right thing, because parents take turns giving breaks. Parents are always checking in with each other. Even though I know there are dynamics where sometimes the dad will take on more so that the mom can do her thing and she, can feel, because kids are so reliant on mommy all the time, right? They want their mommy. So I understand, even in a dynamic where the man is like being conscious of like, let me take on a little bit more. I appreciated what Angel did, because that's how a real functioning couple works together. That's the right thing. It's not just, oh, leave him with the kids. He's their no, baby. No.
Right.
That's their system. And Angel checking in with Bobby is what works for them. So she's doing what works within her marriage. Clearly what you did in your marriage wasn't working. So you can't advise somebody as a divorced bitch, right, on what she should be doing when her stuff, it's working. What she's doing is working.
And you haven't even been around. My thing was, you haven't even been around her, really.
Got her. You just got here. You don't know her. You don't know their dynamic. So what are you talking about, Miss Thing?
Like, you didn't like when it was done to you in the beginning seasons, because they were.
Exactly.
Even though if some of it turned out to be true at the end, but the way they would come at you in the beginning wasn't cool. And now it's like you're doing the same thing.
Now? Why is that, Monique?
And I feel like, are you performing for these women?
I feel like it is a part of that. I feel like in general, people get into these groups, into these cliques, and they perform these little, like they're recreating the quad from high school.
Yes.
So I'm just like, girl, you don't even have to do all this.
It's like, be you. And then there is a little bit part of me that's like, she clearly wants to be on the show, even though she done interview after interview after interview up until December of 2024 saying the show was toxic. But you want to be on the show. And guess what? I don't begrudge you for that. That's cool. She was open about how she doesn't get alimony. She doesn't get this. So get your money.
Doesn't get
It would be cool if you were honest, though. instead of doing all these interviews saying, like, to me, you went on an interview run calling it That Other Show. It's toxic. It's this. Up until December of 2024, only for months later for you to film. I would address it and say, you know what, y'all? I changed my mind. Here I am. Even if she said, I'm coming with a new mindset, but a
Yeah.
girl got to make her money. I would respect you for that. But I just don't want, and even with Dr. Wendy, people are saying Wendy wants to be Giselle's friend. Da, da, da. There is a small part that does understand, just like we see how Bravo keeps propping Giselle up.
Yeah.
We know the network, I'm sure the cast sees it as well. So they feel like, I got to go
I got
along
it.
to get
Yep.
along. So I do understand that piece of it, but also, to me, Giselle's not that dynamic of a personality to where if y'all did like, trust in who y'all are as
Right.
people.
And
I don't
whatever
know. So it does get frustrating.
Yeah, it does get frustrating because Giselle is really not that girl, but the network loves her. She's a network darling, much like Portia, much like who else is one of their I feel like they really love Teresa Giudice too.
Yeah.
Who else do they really love real bad? I feel like they have a thing for Mary. I think the network really likes Mary. I think the network loves Candy Burris. There's
Yes.
people that then they just have their darlings.
Yes.
Well, for whatever reason, is at the top of this list. I don't understand it. It's not for me to understand, so I don't even try.
Yeah. And I feel like the cast probably feels that, which is why Angel had an issue with Wendy over her reaction to what Giselle said, but wanted Giselle to big sis her. But now it seems like Angel is waking up out of her slumber
Session on.
and saying, I wasn't with Angel for a lot of the season either, but I do want her to come back.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it kind of reminds me of Garcelle. Do you remember Garcelle's first season of Beverly Hills? I don't know if they were Italy, Spain, they were somewhere. And Garcelle got up and walked away from the table. And she was crying. And she, in interviews later, said she thought she knew. She thought the Housewives was scripted. She thought she knew. And it wasn't until she was in it, she was like, this is too much. And I feel like Angel thought she knew, probably thought, okay, this has been on for a while, but it's not until you're in it that you know. And now she's starting to see,
right. You can't reverse engineer it from the other side. You can't produce from the other side.
Yeah.
And she had to do this thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to get Giselle gifts and I'm going to do this. You can't, it don't work like that, babes. This is not the world of the wags, right? She's completely out of her element in space. What I do appreciate right now is I feel like she's getting some confidence back right now. I've seen that she's lost some weight.
Yes, she has. Yeah.
A press run. And I think she's gotten her confidence back. And I am enjoying seeing this side of Angel because she's getting her voice again. But I want to see how she's coming at the girls for the reunion. I need you to have that same energy at the reunion. Run these girls up off you. Do what you need to do, Miss Thing. Because I just want her to stand up. Now, Angel wasn't my favorite this season, but I warmed up to her.
Same.
I don't want to see any of the girls get ganged up on. I hate to see it, regardless of how I feel about them. I don't like a pylon.
Yeah.
I was feeling like that about Angel. And I'm like, girl, I just need you to just buck up one good time.
And get them all, do what can. Sometimes you got to use your words to get people off you. And then they know, oh, I'm not going to play with her. Not quite in her face. They playing with you in your face. Not even behind your back, like in your face.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Like looking at you saying, I'm playing with you, girl. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Like that's literally what they're doing.
That's insane. So yeah, like the hazing, that whole aspect of it, I'm just like, it's just so tired. I'm over that trope.
Yeah. Because it's not even like, it's like you worn it down a little bit. Like she said in her interview with Angela Yee, a little bit of, yes, it comes with the territory. But the way it keeps going on, what I thought was interesting was they keep harping on, you don't want to get to know us. And I don't know if you've seen her interview with Angela Yee, but in her interview, she said, remember the scene where they were going at it in Kiana's apartment before Preakness? And that's where I was like, Wendy is straight up asking you, why are you coming at me with this energy when Giselle said it? And Angel's like, because I can't. And for me, all bets were off. And I was like, Wendy, you can approach her any kind of way. She said at the Preakness, she pulled Wendy aside and apologized and said, I'm sorry if I misread your energy. They never showed any of that. She
Oh,
said
wow.
she gave Ashley a pink toolkit at Pride and said, I want to build our friendship. She
Okay.
called Wendy and said, I want to make things right with you to go out to lunch. We didn't
Mm,
see that. And she said that Giselle had lost power and she texted her and said, hey, come over, take a bath, bring your daughters, do all of that. We didn't see any of that.
wow.
So it makes you think, what are the producers trying to do with this show?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I felt as though whenever they first got to Colorado and it was clear that Angel had changed her tune where it concerned Wendy, I felt like there was a piece missing. Like
Yes.
you can't jump right into like giving somebody like soft treatment after you've been kind of like nasty with them. There needed to be a conversation.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a conversation. And that was the element that I felt was missing. And here we have it. We're learning that she actually did try to initiate
Yes.
or switching gears. And
But it also makes sense why she was crying with Giselle, because we were like, why are you crying
yeah,
about
yeah,
that? But because she had tried to.
right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That puts a different spin on it
Mhm,
actually when it's like somebody's actually trying so hard to be accepted
mhm.
and every effort is being thwarted that it just because everybody wants to feel accepted.
Especially in a group like that. Like, come on. Like, come on.
Would feel like ordinarily you should be able to fit in with this group of women, right?
Yes.
Like there have been times when I'm like, why is it not clicking in
Yeah,
here?
it's just literally not
Like,
clicking.
just not, you know? So,
You know what
yeah,
it sounds like? I don't know if you ever heard the click click of you trying to start a car and it's something and it's like click click, like it almost starts but it won't. That's like with Angel. It's like and it's
yeah,
painful to watch. There were
yeah,
times when I was glad, like Wendy was giving it to her, like, yeah, because the way she was. Then there were times when I was like, can y'all let her breathe?
yeah, yeah.
Please.
Enough already. Like this last episode, I said, when Monique started up with the, oh, I like your energy so much better.
Yeah.
Monique, your energy is barely tolerable, Miss Thing. So for you to have a criticism on somebody else's energy, I, my flabbers were gasted by that. I'm like,
Like,
Monique, how dare you, of all people, Miss Thing? Because with you, we don't know if you're going to run off and haul off and jump off in somebody's ass or break, a glass on somebody's head. We don't know what we're going to get with you. You know what I'm saying? So for you, now it's about somebody else's energy. She's hosting you at her house. They just brought out this gorgeous dinner, the grilled
yes.
salmon and ribs. And before you even get grace out your mouth and thank God and bless the chef and the hands that prepared the meal,
Come
you want
on.
to start some shit?
And I said that was an alley oop because she knew somebody was gonna pick it up.
Oh, yes. Oh,
And it was
yes.
like, here, we're back. Like,
Yeah.
okay. And
Yeah.
just come in. I don't need all the toxic positivity. Just come in as you. That's like Rodney says, I like my bitches to be bitches. Like if
Yes.
you're that, be that. And that's just that.
The toxic positivity, you clocked it because I can't stand when somebody's like, oh, I'm all love and light. I'm all da-da-da. No, you're not. Nobody is all love and light at all times. It's just not realistic. So stop. It just always feels like a facade. Sorry, I just saw a bunch of birds on my
Oh no,
channel
that's
over there. It just always feels like a facade, like you're trying to sell us
yeah.
this image of I'm so peaceful, I'm so happy. Look at my birds, and I'm a Disney princess. You're a villain, Miss Thing.
And just be it. Like just be like I know
You're a villain.
I try to be positive all but like the other night, I saw something and I was talking to my husband about it online. And I was like, you stupid whore. Not to him, but to whoever. And then I was like, oh, and then I just, because that was the first thing that came out.
That was a real last moment, and I'm sure whoever it was being a stupid whore and needed to be called as such.
It's like, but you're right. And there's moments, what I'm trying to do now is just trying to find the moments that I enjoy her. Like when Giselle and Ashley saw their room and Monique was cracking up and fell out on and when she told Angel, own the shady it was a beautiful shady moment. Own it
Yeah.
like that. So I am, but I just, this cast is like you said, it's like we can get going and then we can't. I'm 100% with them with the no water. That would send me, it would make me say, I'm going to book a hotel room so I can shower because this is
That's
unacceptable.
miserable. That is a miserable time. So I understand that making, somebody feel like, what the hell is going on? That would be
Yeah.
very disorienting for anybody to deal with. So yeah.
Like, but the whole, what about the men? I hope, based on what we've learned, how they cut things out, I hope maybe that was a redo of a scene because you mean to tell me none of them spoke? Except for the one girl, that was so cringe. And that was the point where it was like, I felt like Angel wanted them to see I got things going on. But one thing about Potomac, they don't necessarily care about that.
They don't. They don't. They really don't. I think that the men should have at least said hello. Y'all don't have to talk and have this whole
Yeah.
but I think it's very rude. I mean, I did laugh at the scene, but
Me
also
too. When Giselle said, I'm so glad we had this time together.
it's rude as hell, and I feel like maybe Bobby and Angel maybe had some conversations with them and they made them privy to it. And I understand all of that, but just the decency, like have some decency as a man, as a black man. All you got to do is say hello. It ain't even got to be about all of that,
Yeah. 'Cause I was like, when Wendy said, Harpo, who these people? I was like, exactly. Like
Right.
I was like, please let that have been a duo. Y'all done shot the scene 19 times because then they weren't even all together. You know how some of the ladies have parties and they have their real life friends and then they have their on camera crew there together. They like went separate from them. Like they were completely separate. They weren't having dinner together. So I was like, oh, Angel. Oh, now I will say, I was with the ladies. Listen, I know you like, what's that interlude on Bobby Valentino? I really need some Bobby. You really need some Bobby. I know. However,
Hollering.
this is your job. And it was a girl's trip.
Yeah.
I get it. But at the end of the day, it was your job. Now, and also in her interview with Angela, she said that the houses were booking up and she had to choose. There were other houses available, but she had to choose whether she wanted them to be stay in a place closer to her house, but then they would have to drive an hour every day to their activities. So she decided, I'm going to have them stay closer to their activities and I'll be the one to drive. I just felt like, could the activities not be changed, or could we have planned it where there was one day of activities where we drove, the other days we just chilled at the Airbnb, did some things around there, and then another day we spent at your, because I get her not having enough room for all the ladies to stay. I said, what is not clicking to them? When Monique said, so Giselle can't stay, well, Giselle's not going to, Bobby's man cave is not set up as a bedroom, I'm sure.
And don't invite somebody to somebody else's house. Like,
no, she can't.
That was very bold to me. I'm like, why are you putting this woman on the spot like that?
Right.
And all people, Giselle is not going to be staying in her damn house. So why are you asking on behalf of her?
Yeah, I said, for me, Angel should have just been up front because it did appear, especially in the flashback with Monique, when Monique was like, oh, you're having them all at your house? She didn't say, I'm getting an Airbnb. She said, I'm going to have them outside on the acreage. I would think I was staying with you as well. And another thing in her interview, she said, I could have been more direct. So I'm like, yeah, you could have told them, hey, we not staying at my house because I don't have enough rooms. We are going to be at my house.
Yeah.
But we're not staying there. I'm sure the ladies would have so it was like there was stuff on both ends.
Yeah,
and
confusion.
I hated that for her because the ladies just now have something else to add to.
Right. Yeah.
And that's your business hosting.
Yeah. It's been a rough first season.
Yeah. I wonder if outside of the network asking her back, if she would even want to come back.
I'm curious about that too. I would hope so.
Okay.
I think, it's so interesting too, because Angel is not the first person to have a rough first season.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
women come onto these shows and they have a rough go at it, and then they go back, and then we find something about them that we find to be incredibly endearing.
That's
Like when
true.
Kenya Moore first started Housewives,
Ooh, child.
it was ridiculous. I said, y'all might need to take her off of TV because she's actually ruining her image. And then some years went by, and then around the time that she had Brooklyn, I really found myself warming up to her
Yeah.
a lot. Even with Heavenly, I did not like Heavenly when she first started on Married to Medicine. She was wearing me out. And then she became one of my favorites. She's
She's
such a
still
polarizing character.
she's still a struggle for me, Bonnie. I'll be wanting to because I'll be wanting to. She makes me laugh. What I give her is that she can
Yeah,
crack me up.
yeah, yeah. She's hilarious. But I get it. My mom can't stand Heavenly. I understand. She's such a polarizing
Yeah.
figure. But I think that the girls should give themselves a chance to
Yeah.
go through the process again and just come back, clean it up a little bit. Let the audience be endeared to you. Let us change our minds. Give us something else. I think that's a part of the human experience too, though, right?
Yes, that's true.
Meet somebody, and I'm like, she's a bitch. I don't really care for her. And then I'll have a conversation with the person, or something will happen, and I'm like, wait, I'm seeing them in a different light. I'm
Yes.
seeing them in a different way, and I needed to see them in this way because I didn't have a full view or a full scope of who this person actually was. The first impression was incorrect, and that's just how life is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rub somebody the wrong way, and then they'll turn around and be like, you know what? I mess with you, actually.
Right.
We all deserve that moment to like come back and clean it up and redeem ourselves a little bit. We all deserve that.
That's what I said. As long as they weren't racist, homophobic, xenophobic, any of that, bring them back,
Exactly.
and we can try it again.
Yeah. And she explained her comment about, what she meant about Wendy with
Yeah.
Whitaker. And I was like, okay.
Because at first I was like, girl.
Yeah. Y'all know I was getting ready,
Yeah.
to ride on my horse and, with my so she explained it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna let her rock. But everybody deserves a second chance.
All right, before we leave Potomac, because I promised Bonnie that I wouldn't have her here all day, I need to ask you this. Wendy, overall this season, what do you think?
Wendy, overall this season, I have really been enjoying. I think that this has been her best season yet.
Girl.
And it's so unfortunate that she has all of this legal stuff going on in the background, because I'm really enjoying Wendy. She just feels more like herself. I'm getting to experience her personality without her having to be defensive, much in the way that I'm experiencing Candace on Traitors. And I think it's beautiful.
Yes.
I'm enjoying it. Now, sometimes she be getting on my nerves with some of the little stuff she be saying. I'm like, Wendy, stop it.
Come. Yes.
I'll be having to get her. Like, Wendy, come here and sit down next to me.
Right. You on timeout.
Yeah. But I'm enjoying Wendy this season. I really
do.
Yeah.
I like her and Stacey together. Mm-hmm. Like, they're funny. And I like how she could address Stacey about the edible, like you naming it a Nigerian name,
and move on.
She'd be like, "Okay, Stacey, all right, girl, but all right, I know what it is."
And move on, and move on in love.
Yeah,
because I really enjoy their dynamic, and I think Stacey is a hoot and a holler. She's a kiki. She brought something very special to these last couple of seasons of Potomac, and I love to see it. Now, listen, nobody is perfect, right?
Right.
So even though I can acknowledge all of the things that I love about a person, I can still see little things where I'm peeking into the background of a dynamic, and I'm like, this looks a little. The thing with Stacey's husband and the way she presented Tia, to, like, this is one of the good blacks, so I'll introduce her to you, and the way he just was so dismissive of her and checked out and didn't make eye contact. Something about Timo rubs me wrong. Black people. And then, you put it together with learning that Stacey, when she first came on the show, she's like, oh, I didn't have a lot of black friends. And, I feel like there's a little bit of a performance as far as keeping her man happy and concerned. Right. Okay. He has to conform and contort herself into his world. The little girl has a German au pair, right? Why
Yeah.
does the little girl speak German and not Ebonics? She should be in touch with her black side. Her mama's from Detroit. Where's your black aunties and your little black cousins that you running around rolling your neck and popping and snapping your fingers with?
All sides of you, yeah.
Balance, right? That's how
Yeah.
I feel about the situation. So really enjoy what Stacey has brought. There are some things where I'm like,
it's funny because remember when she said she was going to do squats or something for her butt, and he was like,
he was like, you don't need to do that. Now, listen, you know how black people are. Black people are obsessed with long hair and big asses. White people are obsessed with blonde hair and big titties. So we just on different sides of the spectrum. And I'm just like, oh, okay, she got herself a white man and he's letting it be known. Like, you don't need all of that ass.
You don't need a, look, if she come back with a blonde wig next season, we're going to know something. Ash dyed light brown, we're going to know something.
Okay. So
that's funny because with Ashley, she, if you know, in the beginning of seasons, yes, she wore some curls, but she wore her hair straight a lot. She said because Michael preferred it straight.
Yep. So they're conforming to their man's world.
Yeah.
And I think that low key is a dynamic that we see in a lot of interracial relationships, but that's a story for another day, child.
I will forever blame TikTok for making me see that what TikTok has shown me, and I do know one person in real life that's when they have a white husband, their wigs is bad. I blame TikTok for showing me that, and then the person I know in real life, yeah,
there's a look. When they have when a black man has a white wife or a black woman has a white husband, they have a look. Usually the edges are not together. Usually the hair, like the black man's hairline, it don't like you're not going to a black barber. You going to Supercuts. He wears flip-flop sandals in every situation, everywhere he goes. So there's not much situational awareness. He don't be ready to just take off. He's become too relaxed now in his new habitat. So there are signs. There are signs when they're dating other, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
There are when it's funny because my husband used to be a barber. My grandfather owned a barbershop. My brother used to be a barber. So I'm surrounded by that. So it's funny when you say going to Supercuts because, them black men didn't play. I grew up in a barbershop pretty much. Like, yes. I loved being in a barbershop. They talk just as much as the women. Lord. Okay. When I had my hair cut, really, I've always loved the bob. I'll let it get long. And then my mom didn't want me to cut it because that whole thing. As soon as I went to college, I took it from here, girl. I took it like up to my ears. And when I came home, my grandfather would do my back for me, like the back of my hair, girl. And I would be in that shop listening to them talk like, y'all are wild.
Yes.
Like the way y'all talk, y'all are just like the beauty salon that's it back in there behind me.
Like it.
That's crazy. With Wendy, I'll say what the ladies didn't bank on was that what they were trying to do to Stacey has actually made her a darling in the eyes of the public. Like she's on Drew Barrymore. She's doing this. She's doing that. Like it kind of backfired to me. And Andy says she's not going anywhere. Like on Watch What Happens Live. He likes her.
He loves her. Oh, Andy, he's always talking about her QVC clips.
Yes.
Crazy about her. They don't know what they have done. They have catapulted her into a new level of superstardom. In all actuality, they did the exact opposite of what they were trying to do.
Yes. And then Stacey be playing in their faces when Tia was going off and she said, if it doesn't matter to the person who it affects, why does it matter? And like she plays like she doesn't know why they're doing it so well, even though she does. So it's like she's playing in y'all faces. I do hope they address at the reunion. Tia saying, she said, I don't know that man. I said, unless she said it off camera, the clip supports Stacey.
Exactly.
Tia, I'm sorry, we were supposed to move on to Married to Medicine, but Tia, what do you think? Because I see some people saying they feel like Tia has jumped on the I hate Stacey train, like Stacey said, and then others feel like she did have a valid reason to be upset with Stacey and the lie, but they feel like she's taking it too far. What do you think?
I feel like she's putting 20 on 10 a little bit. I do understand how Stacey telling a lie about this or that would be annoying. I don't think it's annoying to the point where you're going to fly off the handle and start just yelling and barking in a person's face. I think that aspect of it is where it feels like a performance to, appease the ladies. That's where that comes in. Because I understand the annoyance. And if a person comes into your group and they're constant, you catch them in little lies.
Yes.
Girl, why is you lying, girl?
Yes.
I don't know that it would be a thing that I'm not going to blow up on a person in that way, right? Because I'm understanding it's hurting their credibility more than anybody else. It's something that needs to be addressed, but the way you address things sometimes is really important. And I'm like, Tia, you just got here.
Yeah.
So I need you to just take it easy a little bit,
I'm with you on that. That was my thing. It was like, okay, you could call her out on her lying to you, because in my mind, if I was Tia and okay, you lied to me about him coming in that day, and then I'm seeing that there may be other things you've lied about, then it's like, okay. But at the same time, some of those other things are things that happened last season. So it's like,
yeah,
how do whatever. So I'm wondering. And what I caught was the day that they were getting ready to have their outing, and it was Tia, what's her name? Tia, Angel, and Kay. And Kay said they were getting ready to, I think Angel or somebody was trying to give them Celsius drinks. And Kay said, we're going to leave all the sour pusses in the corner. And Tia was like, yeah. And Kay says to her, I'm going to need more. Stand up, Angel. I'm going to need more Tia, I'm going to need more of that from you today. And Tia immediately says, that's right, Giselle. That's right, Giselle. She called out Giselle's name. And Kay said, yeah, I'm going to need more of that. And it made me think, what have y'all been talking about off camera? Have they said off camera to you that it looks like you're because for her to say, that's right, Giselle, or look, Giselle, and Kay was like, yeah, I'm going to need more of that from you. I was like,
yep.
I wonder what was said off camera. The reunion is going to be something else. Child, clearly Wendy's things are going to be at the forefront. It's crazy how we're going to have one former inmate taking the couch and one possible inmate on the couch.
No, that's a mess.
I know we say allegedly. I keep thinking there's going to be a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
We're going to hear in the courtroom or somewhere that this happened. But I keep going back to, at the end of the day, they have Eddie's voice on a recording.
Oof.
And then they found the ring. And they said they had not repurchased anything. So because a lot of people are like, it could have been a fake ring, it could have been this, but out of their own mouth and their testimony and their statements, which is, I wonder if that's why they want. Remember, they were filing to have any confessions or whatever they made, like not be. I wonder if that's why.
Because it was unlawfully obtained, is what they're saying. So.
And they want their testimonies and everything that they said to be back. So, I forget what they called it, statements. So I'm like,
be recanted. Yeah.
Yeah. I really hate this for them. I do.
Because I actually really like them. And
me too.
I'm thinking about the kids. I'm thinking about little Cam. She's so funny and sweet.
Isn't
and just
she?
Like, trying to make sense of this with small children and explaining that to them. And then when you juxtapose the scene that Wendy had with her mother, that very male-centered moment where she's like prioritizing her, her father, her grandfather, and you're trying to protect his image. I bet that when shit went down that day, when the cops pulled up, who was with them kids? Miss Susan.
She was, from what I understand.
I bet she was.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
Somebody who's aware of the situation told me that they knew that they were coming. And so they waited that's why they didn't go until that night, because they allowed them to wait for her mom to get there to be with the kids.
Yeah. And that's why I felt for Miss Susan. I felt like
So
Wendy
you
was,
felt for her, okay?
yeah, I felt like Wendy was playing in her face, because if that lady is working, what she said, 3 and 4 jobs to take care of her kids, to put them through school, and this man never showed up, he couldn't even be bothered to put, his little slides on his feet and put on a t-shirt to come and meet his grandkids. But you want to uphold his image of, oh, that's their grandfather. Wendy, that is some male identified foolishness that you are on right now.
I had not even thought about it quite in that way until you broke it down. Like, I was just looking at the way Miss Susan said it and how she said it.
She shouldn't have cursed at Wendy like that. She should not have cursed her out, but I think her anger was valid.
And I get it. As a mom, I felt like I could see Wendy's side and Miss Susan's side as a mom.
Yeah.
And my husband has been in my oldest's life since she was 2. We've legally changed her last name to his last name.
Oh, wow.
So if there was a time when she would bring up the other one, even though she does see them here, and it would be like everything that I'm the one that's here. So I could see how Miss Susan could be so angry. But then as the child, I could see Wendy being like,
you want that connection.
Yeah. Yes. But what you said about protecting him is, yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like, sometimes who is the appropriate audience for you to bring something to? I feel like Wendy knows that her mom is not the audience for you to bring. You're trying to rebuild this relationship.
Right.
It was valid for you to rebuild that and try to establish that, but that it's a trigger and a sore spot for Miss Susan. And I just feel like it made me wonder if Wendy was manufacturing a moment to get a rise out of Susan for TV, because if she did, it was brilliant. Because Miss Susan is great TV. Yeah. Anytime she's around, I'm tuned in because she is hilarious. Something about that was like, she's a star to me.
She's funny, yeah.
That Wendy's daughter, Cam,
yes,
mother, they're stars. They are TV gold. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, did Wendy manufacture that just a little bit? But I think they're both valid. And Wendy just needs to know who she's dealing with. Your mom.
Yes.
She's for that. So,
and there's a way to tell if you don't want to feel like you're hiding anything. Hey, I reached out to so and so. I just wanted to let you know, even if she had said out of respect for you or whatever.
Yeah.
But also, I wondered if Wendy did that, like you said, because she knew her mom was going to react, and then Wendy could be a victim.
Yep.
The audience would be like, "Oh my gosh," because
I felt.
To put your mom, like, how your mom's going to react, like you said, and how the audience can be with moms.
She has heard that speech and spiel from her mom countless times about having to work 4 jobs for her kids, and that man not showing up to support her and not being involved. That type of anger, that type of resentment, Wendy knows that story so well. And I'm somebody who, my mom was a single mom for a good period of time, and my biological father was not around. And there was a time where I did crave with him. And I remember at the time where I mentioned it to her, I do think she got upset. As an adult now, I can take myself and my emotions out of it and understand why she was upset at that time, even though I'm understanding of why I needed that connection.
Right.
As well as why she felt that way, because she's like, I'm here. I'm the one day in and day out, taking you this and that place, blah, blah. A little girl still wants her daddy.
Yes. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Yeah.
That's what it all boils down to. So I understood her anger, but also, like, now that I'm an adult and I learned about my father and his life and kind of what he had going on, the way he was ripping and running through the streets, I would never bring that to he's passed away, but I just would never bring that to my mom, like, knowing what all she's done for me and sacrifice and like kind of like putting him on a pedestal. Cause like there was a time where, my dad, we connected on Facebook, and he said something about my mom that was a little untoward, and I had to get his ass together. I had to check him.
I know that
because listen,
that's my mama. Right.
My mama. So don't play with that one right there. So Yeah, girl.
That is true. And it says a lot for him. You were in Nigeria for 30 days. Like you said, he couldn't put his slides on, but was willing to be filmed on a FaceTime.
What? That's a mess.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
mess.
Yeah.
So I completely understand Miss Susan's anger, 100%. I don't think she should have cussed Wendy out, but I understood.
But it just everything from the past, present. Look, Miss Susan probably went back from before Wendy was born to past and said,
And that Holy Ghost fire just came up in the spirit.
And she probably kept it light for TV.
That's the crazy thing. Shit. She probably kept it light.
Yeah. With your stupid self, was in Nigeria, wouldn't even come see you. You know how sometimes black moms be like, you're so stupid.
Right.
He was 2 feet away from you. Couldn't be bothered to put on his dusty Nike slides and t-shirt. Probably has the same t-shirt that I bought him 50 years ago. When you know how they would go.
Exactly what she did on her way out the door, but just in her Nigerian mother style. She did the same thing that all black mothers do. He's stupid. Couldn't even be bothered to put on his damn slides in a tank top.
And you running around here with a sad face over somebody that didn't even care about you.
Defending him. Yeah. So I was here for Miss Susan.
You right. Like, that's a good point. I was trying to be like, I see her. But yeah, I could, from a mom standpoint who's been there, I didn't even think, So Potomac, we're looking forward to the reunion. Excited is too strong of a word, but I do want to see what happens when Giselle tells her that she's taking over the trip. Child, it's a mess.
Yeah.
A mess.
It's a miserable trip. So them going to deviate and do their own thing, I completely understand.
Even the house looks kind of older. Like, I was looking at it like, I thought we were going to get it sleek, upscale. Yeah. But because it is Colorado, not because it is Colorado. But,
that's what it gives. Yeah.
And maybe I'm thinking about Angel's house in my mind. And from what we've seen online, something, and that's what we're getting. But so we'll see. My brother lives in Colorado. I mean, my brother-in-law. Well, I call my in-laws my brothers, my sisters, but he lives in Colorado Springs. I've wanted to go out there just to experience.
You should. Colorado is beautiful. I've been once.
Really?
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
It seems like it in the fresh air. And you know who I enjoyed? I keep going in on Kiana so hard, but yet I keep saying I'm going to go down to her spa because I want to interview her. I don't know why. There's just something. But watching her, I enjoyed her. The last episode, I thought she was light and she was funny, and
we got to see a lighter, funnier side of her.
Was that because she was under the influence, though?
Well, some people are saying that she could be pregnant.
Because Giselle said she was high as a kite. They talked about them pills.
What pills were they giving her?
That's what I was wondering. What did you take THC to calm your nerves in pill form? Like,
okay, that could be it.
But then she was drinking also. So was it a mixture of anti-anxiety and
maybe.
I don't know. When she kept crying and she was like, I don't even know why. Like, I thought that was so funny. Like, even when she was like, y'all want to have a sleepover? Like, she was very just, her
attitude and her disposition was so much. It was fun. We get fun moments from her.
Yes.
This is the girl that I want to see.
Same.
And I don't think she knows that she doesn't have to be so serious and so conflict driven all the time. Because, sometimes it's just like, just show up and be a joy to the space.
Come on, just a little bit. Just we have a good kiki.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just need to laugh.
Right.
All right. Speaking of laughing, moving on to Married to Medicine, because I didn't had you here for almost 2 hours. Child, my alarm even went off. What do you think? I thought we was going to make it through an episode. Child, I have about 15 alarms set off, and every day is something. The season overall.
This season of, say that again. I'm sorry.
Married to Medicine overall, this season.
Okay, the season overall. I'm actually really enjoying it.
Me too.
The thing is, it's been kind of hard these last couple of seasons because the dynamics of the women, it just felt rough. And I feel like now they're back on track. It's like, okay, it feels calm again. We're a little bit back on track. The thing for me that I'm really paying attention to right now is the dynamic between Quad and King. And that's been a hard watch for me The lack of self-awareness from Quad, and the fact that she can't see that this is not the most ideal situation for her to be in. And I feel like she's begging this man, and it feels a little bit desperate. And that is very uncomfortable for me as a woman to watch. She's 45 years old. For me, I'm just like, a 25-year-old I can understand. Maybe even 35. But it's just like, girl, you know better. And I want you to do better. I want better for Quad. And this man don't want this baby. This man said hopefully it'll be a blessing, but I didn't want kids. I could have bought a Rolls Royce.
That I was like, because it's like everybody cheered when she moved on from Dr. Gregory, but I'm like,
what are we cheering for?
This right here.
This is what she moved on with. I just feel like it was too soon for her to be discussing having a child. They needed to go through their honeymoon, happiness, togetherness phase together as a couple. And to jump from 15, times a day, a week, excuse me, to now we're like trying to have this baby, and it's like all of this pressure and IVF and flying back and forth to Ghana. That's a lot on anybody, a lot of new relationship. So
when he said it's taking time away from my daughter and my bits find the guy, I was like, oh, okay.
That's sad. Yeah. Because now you're presenting a situation where he would be resentful, because like he's going to resent you for taking away from time from his daughter. And then he's like, oh, I feel like I need to do this for our relationship. King, no, you don't. You don't have a damn thing.
Because bringing a child into the mix who's also going to require time.
Yeah, this is not a puppy.
Y'all don't even live together.
That's your boyfriend.
Right.
This is not your husband.
Like, if I get that she wants a baby, and maybe there needs to be a better understanding, like, look, I like what I see about you. You're driven, you're this, you're that, your genes. I would like to use X, Y, and Z to have a baby versus, because he really, and then there's a part of me, because there's a part, I don't know if you feel this way. Sometimes I question, is this all for TV? Because we know that folks will do anything to stay on TV. So it's like, and we maybe been jaded a little by reality. Like, right. Is this a little, but there was a part of me that I felt like, was she acting at the end? Or then I felt like she's really crying. Maybe she feels like the thought of being a mom is slipping away with him, because she'd have to start, being a mom in general, because he's now pulling back. When she was reading the text, I just really felt for her. Yeah. And he was just like, he keeps bringing up, to me, to keep bringing up how it changes hormonally is pissing me off, because
you knew that.
Get it. Yeah. And you knew that. And even if you didn't know the magnitude, you've seen it now. You know, it's not me. It's these, like, and you keep bringing this up would send me like over.
Yeah. I feel like overall, I'm seeing a little bit of like carelessness with him as her feelings are concerned. Yeah. She's talking about how he's eating up all the food out the fridge, and, they were on the treadmill together. He called her a big back.
I didn't like that.
I didn't like that at all. And, you don't pick apart a person's body, anybody. And I don't care who it is, friend, family member, lover, sister, brother. You don't ever do that to somebody. And it's little stuff like that that kind of makes me feel like, those little things are like a gateway to like verbal and emotional mistreatment. So I would just be careful with that. I would think that Quad would know better, but she's like laughing and playing along and going with it. And I don't know what to make of that, because I'm just like, what am I looking at for real?
Right. I was like, is that their dynamic maybe? But okay. But I just.
A shell of herself. I don't feel like I'm looking at the Quad that's like shiny and bright. She's not shining in the way that. She looks a little dull. She looks dim to me.
Yeah.
She looks dimmed out.
And then when she even offered, I'll pay for it. And he was like, no, that's not. I was like,
that was crazy. The I'll pay for it moment was like, oh, sister,
you can do this on your own then, Quad. We can get you a donor. Like, let's get you a donor. And this.
Then now it's not about him. you just want to have your baby, so go on and do that. But I just said, oh Lord, what's going on here, honey? It's just been very uncomfortable for
Yeah.
me to watch.
Yeah. I hope that Quad gets everything that she wants out of life and is treated the way,
Yeah.
she deserves to be. Traditionally, I haven't been a Quad person.
Yeah, I get it.
But as a woman watching her, I was like,
Yeah.
wow,
I
you
feel
know.
bad too, but I also think, she threw out some stuff last year about Sweet
Now I
Tea's,
was getting ready to say, I was getting ready to, I was going,
and it was ugly. It was
her and
ugly.
Heavenly, yeah. And it's like, yeah. And now they're both going through the same thing.
Now your son don't want to come around you, and then you having your own fertility issues. So I think it should be a lesson to everybody who watches these kinds of shows. Like, sometimes you say things and you think it's going to slap, but you don't know how it could turn for you, how it might manifest for you on the other side. So we do have to be mindful of the things
Yeah.
that we say and throw out there that you think is a zinger, but it's so deeply hurtful sometimes and nasty. And I think that's the goal. And we want to do that. We want to hurt people. But sometimes you really are hurting yourself, because
Yeah.
you never know how a boomerang might hit your life. And it's like, damn, you shouldn't have said that shit.
Like, because some of this, when they were talking about her eggs and all, I was like, okay, now wait a minute.
Yeah.
Especially because you weren't, and I'm not saying this is right, but it wasn't in response to anything. It was just in response to Sweet Tea being Sweet Tea. It was in response to what her storyline was, not her coming for you.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Yeah, it just
I ain't
speaking.
even no Sweet Tea fan, but
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah.
it was a lot.
Speaking of things you say, talk about fire signs. I have always liked Toya. I know people have their things. I've always loved Toya and Eugene. Sometimes I want to pop her and be like, don't say that. Toya is an Aries. And I think Eugene is a Sagittarius. My husband is as well. Toya is the personification of an intrusive thought. Because some of the things she says, I relate because I would think it.
Yeah, but you know not to say it.
This episode, when she said, and this is the son that always shows up, Toya. And I love how Heavenly was like, Toya always say some stupid ish. And just kind of like, she said, we ain't going to do that today. But also in a weird way, their dynamic, it's like, I don't know if I could, I think I would be more Candace level, meaning I can't handle all that coming to me. So when I come back for you, I'm going to eviscerate. So that way we don't have to go back. What I can appreciate about Heavenly and Toya is that that's their back and forth and they can laugh it off and move on.
Right.
And they seem like that in real life.
Agreed.
And so I kind of enjoy, like, even though if I like Toya, again, I know some people don't, but I like Toya. I cringe sometimes. And even though Heavenly irks me sometimes, I laugh because it's like she can give it to, like, Heavenly is sensitive, and so they're both very sensitive, but to act like they aren't, and that's the issue. But I wanted to pop Toya when she said that, and also when she asked that man, "Was Angel good in bed? How is she? No, how is she in bed?"
She's so out of control.
That to me, it's like, at what girl?
She's out of control, out of order, and I feel like Toya doesn't really get checked because, she's beautiful and she has a certain kind of body. So things that she gets away with, somebody like a Heavenly wouldn't be able, even though I think Heavenly is also very beautiful. But I think, certain women like a Portia, like a Giselle, like a Toya, they can just they can do and say anything because they look a certain way. And that is a lot of what we see with Toya.
And see, that's funny because I feel like the ladies come at her and she just is kind of like, except for at that party when I felt like she was embarrassed and then she tried to overdo it and blame Heavenly. And I was so mad at her because I'm like, I got to take Heavenly's side on this.
Right. I feel like as much as Toya gets it, Toya definitely gives it.
Now, that's true. So what do you think? So let me ask you this. There's a discussion in the housewives world. You talk about my child. I didn't talk about my child. I talked about you as a mom. What do you, Heavenly saying Toya talked about her child. Contessa is saying she didn't talk about your child. She brought up the situation. How do you feel when it comes to that? Do you feel like her saying, basically Heavenly's not around because she doesn't want to talk about what happened to her son? Do you feel like that's talking about her child, or do you feel like that's her talking about the situation?
I think it's her talking about the situation, and I also think that she knows it's a sore spot for Heavenly. So it accomplishes both.
Okay.
It does both things at one time, and Toya knows this.
Yeah.
Heavenly is going to be sensitive about her child, but also Heavenly can't have an expectation that her business is not going to be dragged to the front, because she's going to drag everybody else's stuff to the front. She's going to talk about whatever. People are going to talk about her stuff. It's just that Heavenly has never experienced this, and now it's at her doorstep. And how to deal with it. So it's going to be interesting to watch Heavenly kind of navigate that situation as, somebody who is in a new career also, because she's a politician.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing Heavenly clean up her act in real time as well.
Yeah.
Notice this season, she's not flying off the handle, usually jump off in Toya's ass, but she's like, I'm gonna leave it alone. Yes. It's very interesting watching Heavenly now, being kind of like a little bit more self-aware and cognizant, but sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. Like, shit hit your doorstep and you can't do anything about it, babes.
Do you think there's a possibility Heavenly decided this? I won't say decided to run because of this, but the whole they made me a friend of because they couldn't figure out how to film my political run because it's never been done. Do you think there's a possibility that maybe she could have made that decision because she knew if she was front and center, her son would be a topic? Because Contessa was coming back, and then her and Toya.
Yeah, I think that could have a big part of it too. Because, like a lot of the times with like political campaigns and things like that, they want to know exactly what's going on in your life and your family in case it comes up, so that you can kind of have a way to circumvent or have like a story, have a way to spin it. So whatever is going on with Heavenly and her child it's very serious.
Yeah, it's
very serious. And as a politician, your family life and how you are with like your community is a big part of how you're received.
Yeah,
I think it does not fare well for Heavenly in her campaign right now that her son is actually not talking to her. So I think I heard something about it being like a thing with the contract, and you do have to fall back a little bit.
Okay.
But I also think if she is deliberately kind of like playing to the back, it's smart to do that.
Yeah, because of things happening. Okay. Dr. Mimi, what do you think? Because I took a season off because I couldn't stand Heavenly, and she made me, and I was mad at her because she made me take a season off. But then I came back and was like, I'm trying to learn to appreciate, again, the funny things that they bring, right? I will be very transparent and very honest and say that I felt like, just watching this season, I felt like Dr. Mimi was slick, don't really like Toya. So she makes little comments. I was like, I don't like you, Dr. Mimi. But I had to be honest and say, Taria, as a whole, Dr. Mimi does seem like
balanced.
Yes. And I love how she's vulnerable with her son, and that she's not trying to make it look anything but like what it is.
Right.
Because I've kind of felt like you don't like Toya, so just let her know that. But again, there can't always be
opposite. I felt like it was kind of like
coming from Mimi.
Yeah, like, because why you have an issue with her sitting down on the napkin, and then the lady said, I think Mimi said, you need to be a little bit more in your femininity if you want to get a certain reaction out of Eugene. I didn't feel like it was that big of a deal, but she was right.
Yeah,
she was right. And the way Toya was acting in front of those people and treating Eugene was absolutely out of order and will make anybody uncomfortable.
And embarrassing.
Very embarrassing. I don't feel like Mimi actually did anything to Toya. Like, she's always reacting to Toya.
Okay, that's fair.
I like Mimi. I like her parenting style. I like her and Steve together. Sometimes though, like last year when she was like doing that, you're the covenant of your marriage, and you know, all that Christian stuff, I can get a little bit overwhelmed by it. But I like there's like showing up, because sometimes like it don't be making sense. I'm like, y'all,
Right. And it's like, are you parroting it just to, or do you really believe this?
yes, that is sometimes the issue that I have. So yeah, but other than that, I'm enjoying Mimi.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Taria, be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, because you know, sometimes you'll get caught up like that's, and it's like, yeah, I appreciate her vulnerability, what she brings to the show. I do feel like her and Toya, I feel like, are they gonna have some sort of blowout? Because I just can feel it coming. Like
something
is brewing.
it's gonna come.
Yeah. And
I
then,
just hope that like she can appropriately defend herself.
Yeah.
Because Toya, she's a veteran. She's an OG to this.
You have to be ready, like to come.
Yeah.
Simone and Cecil, that scene in the kitchen.
I feel like Cecil is a very sophisticated gaslighter and manipulator, and I feel like it goes under the radar because he's so soft-spoken. I do not like that he went off into this whole civil rights speech with his brother about his child standing in line for financial aid. And it's not even that deep. It's not the welfare line. It's financial aid, right? It's really not that big a deal. So let the boys go and get it out the mud. Their rent is already being paid. Simone already pays everything. That Miles went and ran up a $60,000 check on her credit card. So what are you saying to me? Is Miles and Michael and Cecil, are they Simone's pimps?
Wow.
Are they pimping her? What is the issue with them going to work and figuring it out? And what is the real issue here?
Yes. And what are the boundaries? If you don't want them to work, but you want them to concentrate on school. So you say you use the credit card for what you need.
But it's $60,000.
Exactly. It's like, what are you're not eating that much food.
What do y'all spend? And y'all don't look like shit when I see you.
Exactly.
You always look musty. You don't exfoliate your skin. You got 10 layers of dead skin on your face. You didn't brush your teeth. You know your mother's filming. You don't even bother to come up here and look like shit. So you running up a silly ass check on what?
Right. And then for him to ask about Angel. Sir,
if you don't get your musty ass,
like, sit back.
You asking your mother about a grown woman.
That's her friend.
I said, "Oh, this nigga has lost
his mind. Like you really think you something like
a level of delusion." I said, "Oh, see that, but that's dangerous to me. That, you know, Simone or, you know, women like y'all can raise these types of men and then they'll just be out in the world interacting with women as the people that you raised."
Then there's an element that's like, are y'all performing? Like, because Michael seems a lot like Simone to me.
Yeah.
Someone did send me a DM, and shout out to you. I don't have your name at the top, but and it was either their husband or somebody worked either at a camp or a school that Michael went to and said he was very respectful, very this, very that. A lot of, and that was good to hear. I was like, well, that's nice to hear. There's also another side of that sometimes where a lot of them are to the public, just like a parent that is misbehaving at home, but to the public, they are, you know, you could tell. I wanted to, like, Simone, are you embarrassed with all of this in the way? But a part of me feels like she is, because when they did that live and Michael purposely threw out there because he needed the public to know that he got a Tesla, both Simone and Cecil said, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Because they knew what he was doing. And I was like, that gives me insight to who, a little bit, because he threw that out there so the public could know. Child, I don't know. Scott and Contessa, I just feel like Contessa just happened to be back on the show.
Yeah.
It don't even, and then the rest of them, they're just all there pretty much. Jackie and Curtis.
Overall, I think it's a good season.
Me too.
So far, so
me too. I'm enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to the next episode to see what they got going on.
Yeah, me too.
Bonnie, thank you for letting me keep you for, child, 2 hours. I'm not gonna count the 20 minutes we talked before. No, I'm just kidding. Look, just making myself feel bad. Thank you. I truly appreciate you coming on. What we talked about in the beginning of the episode. Thank you for just being a joy to talk to and just an amazing person. Can you, if the people for some reason don't know, can you let everybody know where they can find you? And for y'all that do know, don't say your girl don't got your back, because when you called for her, I delivered her.
Yes. Well, you can find me on all socials at Bonnie Scotch. That's BONNI. Scotch everywhere. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm not really on Twitter like that. I might go on there to promote my things. YouTube, Bonnie Scotch, everywhere. So yes, thank you so much for having me.
Somebody must know, because I did a video, made a reference that somebody that y'all love that's been on before is coming on. And I meant to go back. So if you're watching, if you know who you are, I don't know if it's the same person that was like, bring Bonnie on. And I was like, she's been on, but more than one person has said that. But when I didn't even say who was coming. I just said, barring anything happening, I'm recording with somebody, y'all love her. Somebody commented and said, I'm excited. I love her too. And I'm like, I didn't even say who. So I'm like, isn't that funny?
A couple of days ago, I went live and I was like, I'm going to be doing a special podcast episode with somebody that y'all love. They was like, is it we go? And I was like,
so that's funny. So what if it's the same? That would be so crazy if it was the same person. Yes. And it's like, sometimes I don't have a problem saying, but you know how it is. It's like, you want to say, but then you're like, what if something happens and something don't like happen or whatever? But
y'all, I will figure it out.
Yes.
You my girl. So
we would figure it out. Yes.
Exactly.
So y'all say thank you to Bonnie for giving me 2 of her hours on a Saturday. We love you. And y'all if you're not following her, make sure you go follow her, check her out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hype the video if you can, if you have hypes left, and if you even want to. But if not, viewing, thank you so much. Y'all know if y'all disagree with us, just be respectful. That's all we ask. We will talk to y'all later.
Bye.